Hi, I'm Jeff Brookalary, and welcome to the Kitchen Grandpas. This is Cedric Todd, and today we're going to make Cedric's not so famous, but, well, soon to be famous, tortilla soup recipe. Hey Cedric, you know, the tortilla soups come in two different varieties. There's like a broth base, and some are like a creamy base. What are we doing here today?
We're going to do a broth base.
Okay, so this is going to be a broth-based chicken tortilla soup.
Yes.
All right. We've got the stove, a pot already hot behind us. Now, what are we going to start with? You're going to put some butter in there?
We're first going to start in with, and there's two types of butter, salted and unsalted.
What do you use?
For this, we're going to use salted.
Okay.
Because we're not going to add a whole bunch of extra seasoning in it because of the Rotel. Some of the, you know.
So the other ingredients are already spiced, so to speak. Okay.
So we'll get this in here and get this started.
All right, go ahead.
Melted.
So we're going to let that butter melt while you chop up some of the savory stuff here.
So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get the garlic cut up.
Okay.
I've already done some of it.
And now we're looking at 4 cloves of garlic, but he is actually using 2 of these large elephant ear garlic, okay? But if you're going with just the regular sized garlic, you might want to use 4 cloves of regular sized garlic. And you have a whole yellow onion, one whole large yellow onion,
You get the largest one you can find.
Pretty big. Look at that. You know, he might be a grandfather, but he sure does know how to use a knife.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't use a garlic press or, you know, because I want to try to keep all the good garlic flavor in there. I don't want to press it out. You just have the juice.
So you don't want it minced. You don't want it just juicy or whatever. You want a little bit of chunk to this.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And, you know,
I'm going to check your butter for you.
you can use a small chopper.
Hey, ho. Is it supposed to be brown?
It's a brown butter pot, but no, it shouldn't be. Hey, you know, brown butter is good. They use the brown butter a lot.
So far the butter is now well done.
Yes.
All right.
So get that going and let that start cooking in there.
Can I throw some of that onion in there before you start chopping your fingers?
I'm just
Pretty good.
Just chopping this up in some small pieces. Normally, if you know, I'll take and just cut them or slice them like I had them, and then I'll use a spatula and just go ahead and put it down and chop them up. So move this out of the way.
All right.
Here.
That's our bucket of water we're going to use in a minute here.
I haven't changed it, so something has. The fun part of this is that this is the first time I'm getting.
Not how it's supposed to look, but we'll show you the other one in just a minute that we cooked earlier. Because what happened here, unfortunately, is we let that butter brown too long. Unfortunately, but
it's not going to change. You know, all the flavors are still there.
Yeah, it's still going to taste good.
So.
All right, so while he's cutting up the other onion, I can give you some of the other ingredients to this recipe. In fact, we will have those for you here on the YouTube channel if you want to check below the video screen. So we've got the large onion, a half a cup of flour is coming up. Then we got the bucket of water, which is 8 cups of water that we'll be using. We're going to mix to the water 8 teaspoons or 8 cubes of chicken bullion. And Cedric likes to use this particular brand here. We won't show you the brand necessarily, but it is a Spanish name on the front of it. But it is just a regular old chicken flavor bullion that you can buy in the grocery stores.
Yeah, any flavor, any kind.
Any brand will do. All right, so we're going to add 1 teaspoon per cup of water. 8 cups of water, 8 teaspoons of the bullion, and then we want 3 skinless, boneless, large chicken breasts. All right, and I'm going to show you in a little bit how we're going to cut those chicken breasts so they cook a little bit quicker for you. and that's going to help speed the process along.
And
all right, now
this is coming along, even though the butter brown, which is, you know, sometimes they think that's good because, you know, other shows will say, well, I'm going to use brown butter. You know. So now we bought brown butter. We've stuffed it up just a hair, but they always say, okay, wait until the onions are translucent, you know, then you can, you know, start adding. So I've got a 1/4 cup of flour that I'm going to throw in with this and start the roux.
You got the flour out of here, so I'm
Yeah, it's my favorite.
I'm thinking it might be cement, because he says he wants it for a little thickening. But I don't know. An interesting place to get your flour from the hardware store. All right, so that is going to thicken up that butter a little bit. It's kind of like a roux,
yeah,
right?
it's like a roux. We're going to let it sit there for a little bit. But I buy a lot of the dry goods at Sam's in bulk, so then I transfer them because they're sealed to, you know, wash them out.
To a big bucket.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Well, that sounds good.
we got that going.
Oh, now we need the
And
water.
so now we're going to take and we're going to add, I've already pre-measured 8 teaspoons of chicken bouillon flavor. And I'm just going to put that in there. Get it all mixed up here.
Aggressively.
And get this ready to go. So the flour has,
All right. So let's see if our
Let's see
camera,
if I can
let's
get
see if our
both.
camera can come in here.
here I'm
Get a view of
you know,
that.
trying to put half the water on the fire here to kind of cool it down. Yeah.
Yeah, good job. So it's 7.5 cups of water then, because he spilled half of it, a half a cup at least.
And one thing, I enjoy my cast iron, but this is a enamel cast iron, so I always get on my kids, do not use any metal of any sort when you're cooking my cast or my ceramic.
Oh yeah, no metal
Because-
utensils.
Yes, because it'll chip and it'll
So
scratch and then.
thus we're using the wood and stir.
So yes.
Yeah.
And, you know, I do regular cast iron too, and I can use all my metal. But anyway, so,
Now
We
the
got
chicken
that
breast,
one.
right?
yes, so we got this mixed up.
Let me grab the chicken here.
So you can, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
Trim some of the fat off.
Yeah.
Probably not a bad idea.
Yeah, that was a cleanup dog there. So yeah, some of this gristle, you know, you just kind of, sometimes you pull it off. I enjoy using my knives.
Yeah. We won't say the brand of those knives, but they are a really good brand of knives that are very expensive, but they are well worth it. He owns a set, I own a set. We love our, all right, we'll say it, Cutco knives.
I told, you know.
I don't mind using that term. I'll tell you, we'll talk about the brand name with the Cutco knives because they are excellent, and they're from my neck of the woods, from Olean, New York, Western New York, and great company. They've been around for, man, probably hundreds of years now. I know my parents got a set of those when they first got married, and they still have their Cutco knives from when my dad and my mom got married back in 1960. So go figure. And now we own a set, Cedric owns a set, and we just love these.
And I enjoyed them so much that we both bought the same set back, how many years ago?
Many years ago now, I don't know, maybe 10.
And so I've liked them so much that I've enlarged my set. Mine is twice what it was.
Yeah, I noticed you've got a bigger set, yes.
So that's how much I like the knives.
Yeah. And a good thing about that is, you know, what's interesting about Cutco, if there's an issue with the knives, if they become dull, if the handle breaks, and they don't, but if the handle were to break or wear out or something happens, you can send it back to the company and they will either sharpen it or they'll just replace it with a new one. Boom.
Yeah, and
My parents had that, they did that not long ago. In fact, they went to the factory in Olean, New York and dropped them off.
Yeah, when I got this set, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
2.5 years ago, I took out all my knives that I had, and I sent those back to have them sharpen it, while I also had new knives I could play with.
Gotcha.
So,
All right, so-
I cut the chicken in half.
Yeah, so he sliced the chicken in half lengthwise, threw that in the pot, so now that'll cook quicker. We're looking at, what, about 20 minutes or so
We got
for that chicken to fully cook through. And you want to make sure that the heat is about medium-high heat, and then that chicken will cook nicely. You want the juices to run clear. You want your chicken to be cooked, obviously, very well.
Yes.
And as soon as it's cooked, then what we'll do is we'll take it out of the pot. We'll start shredding it, doing some other things. But we got to add some other ingredients to it. Now, we do have a pot that we made earlier, so we're going to go on over to that pot.
So I've got the pot. We've already cooked down the chicken. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over here and grab the chicken back out. Try to leave the juices in the pan. And so I'm going to take this out. I'm going to take it and shred it. I love gadgets. These I got for Christmas this year.
Oh, look at these bear claws. So you're the gadget grandpa, huh?
Yeah, I love. And just
Grandpa Gadget, I'm going to call you.
gadget.
Grandpa
That'll
Gadget.
work.
I like this other one you have. And we're going to use this later, I think, when you cut your tortilla strips.
Yeah.
But this is a adjustable size or width cutter that can cut tortilla strips or you name it. I don't know what else, but it'll cut stuff.
Pizza. I use it a lot for pizza.
Or fingers.
Fingers if you get them in there. That way your fingers are all identical.
All right, so you're shredding up the chicken now, and you're going to put the chicken back into the pot?
Put the chicken back in the pot.
Now, we do have some tomato stuff that'll come along with that here. We're going to throw some different tomatoes, diced tomatoes, tomato paste, etc. So this is going to be a tomato-based broth, as we said earlier. So kind of a chicken broth base, but with tomatoes. So no cream. We're not doing the creamy type of tortilla soup here today. That I do. And I love my creamy tortilla soup.
I might do that another show. I'll let him cook.
All right. Wow, I'm gonna stir your chicken up over here so it'll cook evenly. And this doggone wooden handle is a little hot.
That's what these are for, Jeff.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
And you just shred it up to where, you feel comfortable or you like it. And we're going to throw this back into the pot. Oh, look at all that chicken. You want to stir that up a little bit?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll get that stirred in. Now, is the heat on here?
Nope, we got to turn the heat on.
We better turn that on.
Might help.
Okay. So this is the pot we prepared a little bit earlier, the base. Now he's put the chicken back in, all shredded. And now what?
I'm adding a little bit of paprika.
All right, so how much is that?
That's a tablespoon of paprika.
All right, 1 tablespoon paprika.
And
Or
so just
paprika, some people say.
Just give it a little bit of different flavor.
I'm going to scrape some of this goodness off the side here. All right.
I'm not much into. I can do spicy, but you can add chili pepper.
Well, you can add some chili powder, maybe.
Chili powder.
Some cayenne.
Cayenne.
If you like hot.
Yeah,
if you like hot.
So right now we're going to add. I add 1 can of tomatoes per chicken breast.
Okay, so what do you have? 3 cans of diced tomatoes.
3 cans of diced tomatoes.
All right. 3 cans of diced tomatoes.
I add a little bit of spice with the Rotel. You could, like I said, you can add other spices.
Okay, so that is what, mild?
It should be just
It's original.
original.
Okay, so this is the original Rotel. So it does have a little bit of some jalapenos in there, a little bit of pepper, and some tomatoes, so a little spice. And if that's as much spice as you need, stay with that. You don't have to add anything to it.
And then just to add some protein and, extra
Chewiness.
And
1 can of kidney beans.
1 can of kidney beans
Or
with the juice.
Okay.
I like to keep the flavor, everyone always says, okay, drain the juices, throw them in there.
Okay, but if you'd like this to be like strictly Mexican, you can go with black beans, you can go with pinto beans, or whatever kind of bean you'd like. We happen to like kidney beans. We also make this with black beans. So either way.
And
Now,
so
what's
now I'm
that?
going to throw some
One
tomato
can of
tomato paste.
Easy for you to
Yeah.
say.
And that'll just help thicken it up a little bit. We're trying to stay away from the creamy and stick with that.
All right.
Okay, so
I
now
can be
we've
the
got
stirrer,
that
that's for sure.
cooking. And
Now, here's something I've noticed, and folks, you'll just notice this because he mentioned it earlier, but the truth is, there's no salt and pepper added.
I haven't added no salt
Nope.
and pepper.
So what you've added, though, between the bullion and the savory vegetables, the garlic, the onion,
Right.
that in itself, and then, what was that, not chili powder, oh, paprika. Those are it for spicing, basically, to this recipe. So there's no salt, no added sugar. So there was a little bit of salt, obviously, in the salted butter. And that's what Cedric was going after there with using the salted butter, so that we don't have to add a bunch of sodium to the recipe.
Right. So, okay, so we've got that going, and that's going to, stay and let it, cook down, probably for about, 15, 20 minutes. And until it starts to boil, reduced heat, and you can either serve it right then, or you can let it, simmer for another 10 minutes on a really low heat.
So that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. So we just finished our tortilla soup, put it in the bowl, and I'm going to take some tortillas that I got from the store, and I'm just going to slice them up. And I've already got my heat going on over here,
And your oil.
and my oil in it. And we're just going to throw it in there, kind of watch it. Takes a couple of minutes. And
Fry up some tortilla strips here to use in the soup. Pardon me?
The temperature.
Oh, the temperature.
yes, we set the temperature up to 350.
Well, good thing we've got a camera person here that's reminding us what we need to do.
So anyway, so while that's going there, and we've got, Jeff wants to go big, but we've got these, here that we can use to flip those. So I've already fried some up, and so I just take them, kind of crunch them up a little bit, throw them in there, and then shredded up some
What kind
cheddar
of cheese?
cheese.
That's cheddar?
Just, yeah, mild cheddar.
All right, now I would go with sharp, but you can use the mild.
And
A couple of
Couple
slices
pieces
of
of
avocado.
avocado.
That's good stuff right there.
and
In fact, I'll eat some of this avocado for
and
you.
it's ready to serve.
Very good. All right,
In my house, it never lasts very long.
so that is Cedric's almost famous chicken tortilla soup. And again, we want to remind you that if you enjoy this video, make sure you like our videos, leave us a comment if it's positive, and of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. So again, Cedric's famous tortilla soup. Stay tuned for some of our upcoming videos right here on our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. We are just a couple of kitchen grandpas.